All right, here we go. I've got news to share. I'm on the road, but I think I'm doing this pretty safely. Man, thank you guys so much for being a part of this, for encouraging me, for supporting me as I've made toys, and just everyone who is in my life, giving me advice, giving me counsel, being excited with me about it, just valuing me and being my friend. I'm thankful for all of you in that. It's been I guess the point of this video is that I'm no longer going to be making toys as a business. And that's okay. It's okay. It doesn't feel so much like the business failed as much as I failed, which is why this is difficult for me. Because that's why I don't think I've made this video up until now. And in some ways, yeah, I've failed. I didn't push or do things that would have made it more successful, made me more successful. But I think I've learned a lot through this experience. I've learned how to think in a business way. And I mean, there's more to grow in it, but I'm so thankful because this all started with God drawing me out of a landscaping job, working for another company. He had brought me to a school it paid less than my landscaping job, right? It was janitorial work. Obviously, that's going to pay less. And I was like, oh, okay. But he told me 2 months. So I was like, okay, 2 months. I don't know what's after that. But I told my employer, I'm only going to be here for 2 months. Like, oh, okay, what are you doing after that? I'm like, I don't know. Just God told me 2 months. So I told that to them, you know? And near the end of those 2 months, I got the word from God, from His Spirit. Learn while you earn. And I said, okay. Fancy, let's do that. Thank you, God, for being alliterative, maybe. So, I tried to educate myself in a college homework kind of thing. I started thinking about making art and making that a business. Just felt like that's where I needed to go. And that's what I was really interested in. I'm still so interested in art, music, acting, painting, but that just didn't seem to, like, I was thrown into a pool. Well, I jumped into a pool and didn't know how to swim, really. And so I found a little floaty in the pool that was toys. I was like, toys is much more of a clear product that I could really market and really find direction with, and a little bit more purpose in wanting to educate children, wanting to help them grow, and using toys to do that seemed like a really great direction. However, I did struggle with certain things. I'm just learning what I'm strong in and what I'm weak in and what I need help with. So that was really helpful, really educational, this process. And I'm really thankful that God has brought me through this process. And at the end of that, I figured that this is not, just from talking to people who have been in that kind of industry, or at least tried what I was trying, really couldn't make a profit with it. Couldn't make a profit that could support a family, which is one of my is growing to be one of my biggest goals, one of my biggest dreams, is to have a family and to be who God has designed me to be as the father of that family. So provider is a big part of that. Obviously, money isn't all that God has designed me to provide to a family. There's a lot of other things, emotional provision, spiritual provision, financial provision is a part of that. But so thinking about financial provision, and this didn't seem like it would work well, and I never thought it was going to be my only source of income, but it was enough to say, hey, you know what, I don't know if I really want to do this, but I don't really know what else I want to do, and had other thoughts in my head. And I was landscaping, and a friend of mine asked me, like, well, what about that? You know, you've obviously got the skills for that. God has given you time and training in that field, in that area. And I'm like, well, I don't want to ruin my body, because landscaping is hard work, and if you do it for 40 years, you're gonna be a crippled old man. And I didn't want that. I don't want to destroy myself. But part of it, I got to a point where I had an idea for a certain kind of landscaping that I really did want to do. I thought that would be really a good idea. It was going to be more garden-based, less to pretty your home for your neighbor's view, more to like build a space for you to rest in. However, as I'm saying, okay, yeah, landscaping is what I really want to do, or at least I think a good way to go at the moment. Maybe it will change. Maybe I'll go into something else later on. But at the moment, as I looked at that, and I think, yeah, I want a job less about what matters, or I guess less what I'm looking for in a job is moving away from what brings me pleasure, what brings me joy, and more to how it serves the people around me, how it serves my family. Now, I do think there's still a middle place in that, that I can operate in the strengths that God has given me in ways that do bring a certain kind of satisfaction that helps me continue in it and move forward and not get burnt out. That still provides for family and serves the people around me. And I do really still want to protect my body and work well and not destroy my body, but my strength is also for the people around me. So if it means sacrificing my strength, that others might live well, that others might, what's that word? Prosper, then I think that's the heart of Christ, right? He gave up his life for others to live, for others to prosper in life. And so if landscaping means that, obviously I'm not trying to destroy my body, but if it does mean that, you know, by the end of 30 years, I just can't do as much, or I just hurt more, then I think, again, I'm just moving away from the selfish ideas that, oh, I don't want to hurt. I'm like, I do want to have a body that's healthy, that I can still play with my children or serve others well, but it's not out of a selfish self-preservation that is that I don't need to let that make my decision. So I'm moving into landscaping. I'm going to start a business there and see how that goes, see how far that goes. I've got vision for it. I think it would support more people. And I mean, you could take toys into a manufacturing way and build a business that can provide not only for a family, but even other families, and providing jobs for people. But it just doesn't seem like something that I want to do. Like, that wasn't my heart. I don't want to be a manufacturer. I just want to be an artist. But more importantly, I want to provide for a family. And I know all those are this big soup of how God has designed me, and how He wants to walk with me. He wants to walk me through all of those desires. And whether that means sacrificing a desire, that's for His glory, and out of a desire for His will. Like, I've got a will, maybe only just to give up my will. Jesus says, "Not my will, but yours be done." He had a will in that. He had a desire that wasn't necessarily the plan that God had for him. But He said, "Not my will." I've got something, and I'm sacrificing that to you, God. I'm giving that to you. I'm giving my will to you, what I want, what I desire. Now, Jesus' will was to sacrifice Himself. Like, He wanted to surrender Himself to God. And so He gave up His other desire to not go through the cross, so that He can, because His desire to serve God was higher. His desire to say, "Your will, not mine," was higher than His desire not to go through the pain. So I'm open for God to show me how all of these desires mesh together. But right now, I'm going to move away from toys, and I'm going to move towards landscaping and see how far this goes. As a whole, I can be afraid of feeling like I wasn't faithful to something. I'm afraid that I wasn't faithful to this toys business, that I didn't pursue it hard enough, that I didn't do well enough, and I'm giving up. I don't think that's accurate. If it is, God's grace is sufficient, that I don't need, even if I wasn't faithful. I'm still struggling with that a little bit. But I do think God is leading me, and God is with me in the decisions that I'm making. I do think not that every decision that I'm making is the one that He wants me to make, but I think in just His His sovereignty and His unity with me, like, He is always with me, and through all the decisions that I'm making, He is there beside me. Whether they're the right decisions, whether they're wrong decisions, whether they're decisions based on wisdom, whether they're decisions based on fear, He is with me. And I feel I'm confident in going into landscaping, but I also want to lean into His strength and not my own. And there's going to be fears through it. There's going to be weaknesses through it, and having to walk through those and learn wisdom, learn how to rely on others and rely on God. But that's where I'm at. That's where I'm headed. I have no clue what this YouTube will be like, how much I'll keep up with it, or in what way will I keep up with it. I may not at all. But I'm not going to commit to anything right now. So, we'll see. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being along with me on this and supporting me through every decision that I make, or supporting me despite my decisions. Just being there, being my friends. I appreciate that. So, you guys have a good day. I'm having some lunch. Toodaloo.